So here the question was asking about the interval where the function was only increasing, and we found that from 0 to 2 of the x values, the function is always increasing. So the answer is A. And this question is asking about the relationship between the variables x and y, which is defined by an exponential equation. When x is 0, the value of y is 60, and for every increase in the value of x by 1, the corresponding value of y increases by 40% of its previous value. Which equation represents this relationship? So be careful that such questions require you to know this function. In such questions, you should write this function where a and b are variables, and when x is 0, b will be equal to 1, as you know, and so y is equal to a, and we have 0 of x here, and it's saying that in this case y is equal to 60, which means a is equal to 62. So our function is something like y is equal to 60 multiplied by b to the power of x. So we can cross this C and D options, and to choose between B and A, we should be careful that 40% of previous value will be something like 1 plus 0.4 to the power of x. So in that case, we should write 60 multiplied by 1.4 to the power of x, which is something like this, and the A is correct option here. B would give the 4% of the previous value more, so B is wrong too. And this question, it's kinda asking more, kinda asking you to work with percentage, and let's read it firstly. On a plot of land, it's some kind of just think that it's land. 48% of the square footage is farmland, and the remaining square footage is pasture. So there, it's divided into two sides. Some is farmland, and another one is pasture. There are buildings on exactly 21.5% of the square footage of the farmland. Okay, and there are buildings on exactly 19% of the square footage of the pasture. If there are buildings on exactly p% of the square footage of the plot of land, what's the value of p? So here you should know one formula, which is a1 multiplied by b1 plus a2 multiplied by b2 over divided by overall area will be equal to p%. But be careful that you should write the value of p. And let's imagine that A, overall area of the plot of land, is equal to just 100. In that case, farmland would be 48 square footage and pasture would be 52. And you will have a simple equation to just calculation to calculate the answer of. And in order to find the overall value of P in a numerical value, you should multiply what you get by 100%, and firstly you should convert percentage into numerical values. Here I've converted 21.5% into 0.215 multiplied by 48, and 52 multiplied by 0.19, and all of them were divided by overall area, which is 100, and multiplied by 100% in order to get the value of P, and it was equal to 20.2. So this is a correct option you should have input. And here it's just a simple equation, but what most students do, they will just write the find the value of x and write it down in order to, instead of 3 minus 5x. Here you should just write it and as see that 9 minus 4 is equal to minus 1 multiplied by 3 minus 5x. And if you inverse the relationship, 3 minus 5x will be equal to minus 5. So the answer is minus 5 here.